So last night I went to visit Beth, and she was at the Hawaiian outdoor farmers market. And I was looking and looking for her. Pardon me while I greased up my lips. I was looking and looking for her, and finally found her. She was sitting on sort of a platform in front of a bucket that had a pour spout and an ordinary sieve over top of the bucket. And she had bushels and bushels and bushels and yet bushels of very ripe tomatoes surrounding her. And to the left of her, off the platform, was one of those great big scrapyard, big, what do you call them? Garbage things, you know, that a truck has to come and lift up. And it was so that she was above it and she could just toss stuff into this thing. And she was wearing a lei and a muumuu, which was, of course, all purple flowers. And she was yelling at people saying, "Come and taste my tomato juice." And she would grab a tomato, great big fat juicy tomato, and she would put it in the sieve and she would punch it. And the sieve was, of course, keeping all of the meat and the seeds and the flesh and the skin of the tomato out of the juice. And what she was making was like a clear water. Now, I'm used to drinking tomato juice. I've certainly had tomato juice before. But as I was walking past, and I must say she didn't recognize me, as I was walking past, she said, "Try this." And she put it into like a champagne glass. And it had, you know, well, you can imagine how it looked. And I took it. And it was very refreshing. And then I woke up. In Saturday's newspaper, there was this article, From Classroom to Fork, and the guy is tending to his farm of tilapia. And it talks about fish poop and how the fish poop is a fertilizer for lettuce, watercress, and ghost peppers. And they're making farm fresh tilapia to have at a restaurant in Scarborough, which is a suburb of Toronto. Although Scarborough wouldn't like being called a suburb, but it is. I thought that that was interesting. And that's enough about Beth for now. Today, I went out with my sister. I went out with my sister and we went to a number of little stores, cute little Canadian store that was nice. And we went for lunch at a traditional Mexican El Salvadorian place. And I had 3 pupusa. They weren't bad, but not terrific. I've had better. And there was a thing that looked like, I don't know what it looked like, I don't know, a thing like that big. And inside was chopped up sausage. It was okay, but I wasn't exactly thrilled. Tonight we're having hamburgers because it's been an absolutely spectacular day. And at the end of the remarks for today, I'm going to attach a photograph that some of you might think is porn, but it's not. The young woman is wearing a bathing suit. And some of you might think that I'm spying on her from my bedroom window, which probably was true, but how could one not? I mean, the whole concept of YouTube is peeking into people's lives. And if you think that I don't peek into people's lives as sort of a hobby, well, then get a grip, because that's what I like to do, of sorts. Anyway, this young woman across the street, I've told you that 5 young women, like between 18 and maybe 20 years old, have moved into the place across from us. Four young men just went in, I think, for the weekend earlier today. But anyway, I digress. And this young woman was sunbathing at the end of the driveway on the ground, on the driveway ground, at the foot of her driveway. So as you were walking along, you could tumble over a 3/4 naked woman at the end of her driveway, right in front of my bedroom window. And I sort of had to surreptitiously try and get a picture without embarrassing her, or me for that matter, because I wouldn't want to be labeled as the little old lady busybody peeking out her windows around the curtains. But anyway, the picture isn't very good. I'll attach it at the end. And is there another thing I was going to tell you? I'll save it for another time. That's it, that's all.